Okay, story time. So, when I was 32, I got out of a 3.5 on and off relationship with someone that I thought could be the one, but he wasn't, and that's okay now. And at 32, obviously, that is devastating because no one wants to, feel like they have to start from scratch when they are ready to just be in this forever relationship already. And whether you want to get married or not, in my case, I really wanted to, and I have wanted forever. Honestly, like probably since my mid 20s, I've really desired to be in a relationship and be with someone and start a life together, start a family, all the good stuff. So when that relationship ended, I had so much I was just exhausted. I was just tired, I think, of dating and trying to figure it out, especially, like I am of African descent, I am Christian, I have done everything that you're supposed to do. So to be at a point where you're like, why is dating just not working out for me? I was really exhausted. And even though I really enjoyed my single life, I'm not going to lie, I really enjoyed my single life. I wouldn't call myself desperate or anything. I just felt like I just wanted to be my time. I just wanted to be my time. I wanted to be, something that I can just get to already. And I know so many women do. I have plenty of friends who are feeling that way right now. I have friends who, may already be in a relationship, and before they got into this, they felt that way too. It's like you just want to have found that person already. So that first video where I'm crying, I believe that was actually an Instagram story. I do not remember exactly why I posted it, but I think it was along the lines, and I've always been very open. If you don't know, I have a blog, I have a Christian blog about dating, faith, all the good stuff, and I've shared on it for years, encouraging other single women to, stay faithful in Christ. And I was also sharing on my stories, whenever I was feeling down, because I just don't believe in, keeping it and acting like, oh my God, I want to be a boss chick. I don't need a man, all that. It's not me. So that was the first video. And that was very much, I think that was like very soon before, or like very close to when I met Kenny, my husband. I think that was in March or April of 2022. And just 2 months later, we met in May of 2022 over Hinge. And honestly, when we met, I was very, very clear. I had a 12 months rule, a 1 year rule, where anybody I met, I immediately communicated that, hey, you got a year to figure out if you want to be with me forever. So if after 12 months, I do not have proof that we are getting married, then this is not going to go anywhere. And, he took it to heart. I'm not going to lie. It was definitely not something he was used to. But over the course of us dating, he realized that he wanted to be with me. He made the necessary steps. After 12 months, he met my family and made it very clear to them that we're heading that way. So I, felt comfortable and knew that it was happening, and it's just a matter of time. And on my birthday, a few months later, which was, I do think, around 18 months from us first starting, to date, he proposed. And it just shows how quickly life can change. Of course, 2 years, it's not even that quick, right? There are people who get married after 3 months of knowing each other, 6 months of knowing each other, and to each their own. But I do think that looking back now, it feels very surreal that it was just 2 years since me creating that video where I cried. So for anyone who's in that season, that waiting season where you believe in God for your husband, your partner, your family, all the good stuff, keep believing. It's so important to keep the hope, to understand that there's nothing that separates me from you. If it can happen to me, it can happen to you. And yeah, believing that you're worthy, believing that you're deserving, believing that you are, you just need one man. It just needs one man to choose you, not everybody. So if, it's not going anywhere currently, he just wasn't it. And someone else is going to come around and he will be it.
I just found out that my ex-boyfriend is engaged. We broke up 2 months ago. And I know what you're thinking. He was definitely talking to her while he was dating you. And he probably was. Honestly, I don't even know how I feel about any of this. I'm kind of like in shock. A lot of my friends are like, Lauren, how are you not going crazy? How are you not angry? And honestly, things don't happen to you, they happen for you. I'm very, very glad that the Lord, the universe, whoever removed an inconsistent, unstable energy from my life. I handled the breakup with grace. I'm handling this situation with grace. When we broke up and we were both hurting really bad, I did not take that and put it on someone else. I'm taking the time, however long it is, however hard it is, to heal myself, to work on myself, and be alone. There is no real, good, true relationship that starts from cheating, that starts from a lie, that starts from hurting someone else. And even though he owes me money, I'm choosing to be the bigger person and let it go, because you have to pick and choose your battles. And this is one that I'm winning without even having to fight.
Part 2 of how I called off my almost engagement. I was terrified. I literally lived with this person. There was a lot of things that were gonna have to change. Basically, in essence, my entire life changed. Person that likes to have a plan. I like to be in control. And for the first time in my life, I had zero plan and zero control. I was literally starting from scratch. So at this time was unemployed. It was just a really tough time. But looking back a year later, literally my life has changed for the better in every single way. And it like literally makes me like emotional. Didn't think I was gonna cry on this app. Hang on. I vividly remember right after being like, what the hell am I doing? Like, I have no idea what I'm doing with my life. Seriously, never cried on the internet. This is so embarrassing. But it's real. I just remember not knowing what the hell I was gonna do and like literally not even knowing the next step. Went and stayed at my friend's house for like 2 weeks because I didn't have a place to stay as he was moving out and stuff. Or later I can say everything changed for the better. Like, my relationships deepened. I've never been this close with my friends as I am now. My relationship with myself, most importantly, is the best it's ever been. Like, I'm the most confident version of myself like I've ever been. In the past, I've struggled with confidence. I've been a people pleaser. I've never been able to like walk in and own the room. Needed validation from people and affirm me. If I was making a decision, I needed someone's help to like affirm me. Now I feel like it's me against the world. Like, I'm so confident in myself and my decision making and just feel so aligned with who I am. And I feel like I would not be in this place if I didn't go through hell to get here. Not to mention I had zero idea what I was doing with my career. I just quit a job. I was unhappy in it. I had no idea what my next step was. When I called off the engagement, I literally went to Europe with my mom. I called her the night before I was taking off and was like, Mom, this is what's going on. She kind of knew, but she literally dropped everything. She's the one that flew and met me in Europe. I flew by myself. That's a whole nother story. Literally went to Europe unemployed. Also, while I was in Europe, I found out that I didn't get a job that I really wanted while I was there, and my life felt like it was in shambles. I was like, I just called off an engagement. I'm gonna have to sell my townhome. This job I'd really been wanting and had gone through multiple interviews for, that felt secure, that was like what I wanted, fell through. I felt like I was literally at like rock bottom. Slowly but surely, day after day, month after month, what felt aligned to me, I'm now in a place where I am living out every single day what I want to do with social media marketing for an agency, freelancing on my own, social media for a client, doing fitness, which is the most fulfilling job in the entire world. And there's more where that's coming from. All didn't happen overnight. That one simple decision that was the hardest decision I've ever made was the catalyst. My career, actually moving in the right direction, it's deepening more than ever before because I'm most real and honest with my friends that I've ever been before. My family becoming even closer than I've ever been with them, which were like this. And honestly, the time alone in that period of time where I was reflecting and just like kind of taking a step back and rebuilding my life was the most pivotal point in my life. Oh my gosh. Okay, don't cry. It just allowed me to like dig deep and be like, what do I want? And how am I going to get there? Sometimes the actual hardest things in your life are the most rewarding things. And this is just the start. Like, I just know I'm on the path that I want to go. I'm excited about the future. I will also say, just because something's comfortable doesn't mean it's meant for you. Doing the hard thing is worth it in the end. Don't date for potential. Ask yourself, if I married them right now, if nothing changed, would I be happy? If you're constantly having to seek advice or ranting to someone or needing to go to counseling or therapy in the early stages, that's not a good sign. The right relationship will bring clarity and peace, not confusion and feelings of being unsettled. Also, the red flags that you overlook in the beginning are only going to amplify times 10 in marriage, is what my mom said. So it's not my intention to go down this road, but I just feel like I should share it. So I don't know if this resonated with anyone, but the hardest things in your life lead to the most beautiful transformation. I've never been more confident, more proud, more grounded, and just more aligned with myself. And I know the best is yet to come. Okay, that's it. Bye.
I was engaged for 2 years, but did not have an engagement ring, and here is why. So, I mentioned in my last story that I was married in my early 20s. It was a really toxic, very dark relationship. Won't even get into detail about that one, but 3 out of 3 years after getting married, I got divorced. In that relationship, everything changed the moment we got married. After we got married, he decided that I am under his like ownership now. Like I was like his possession. It was fucked up. So anyway, I was pretty jaded. I did not want to get married again. And 10 months after my divorce, I met my ex-fiance. So we were together for 8 years, and 2 of those we were engaged. But on our second date, we were drinking martinis at a piano bar. We were drunk and we were having like a good time. And I was like, look, just a heads up, I'm never getting married again. And we knew each other. We were like friends. So he like knew I got divorced and everything. So I was just like, look, just a heads up, I am not ever getting married again. I want to have kids. I want to have a family. But like the whole like marriage thing, like I'm not doing it. And he was like, all right, cool. Like as long as you want to have kids, because I really want that too. And we're like, okay. So 5 years into our relationship, we were kind of like, let's start having kids. So we tried. I mean, we just didn't not try. Anyway, nothing was happening, never ended up getting pregnant. But on the 6th year of our relationship, it was our 6-year anniversary, and we were just like kind of talking, and we're like, you know, maybe like we do get married. It was like a conversation, and we were just like, let's do it. Oh, also I said, if I ever decide I want to get married, I want to tell you that I'm ready to get married, and then you can propose to me. So basically that was that conversation. But then we talked about it, and for the next like 2 weeks we really talked about it. We're like, okay, is this gonna happen? Is this what we're doing? And it was kind of like yes. We were like, all right, we're like engaged. And I was just like, his sister-in-law got her engagement ring custom made. So I was like, I'm gonna get my ring custom made and da-da-da-da-da. And he's like, okay, awesome. And he was just really excited. He's the one who wanted like a dream wedding. That to me, like I've never wanted to be a bride or a dream wedding. Like I just want to have a party. Like I'm there for the party, but I've never envisioned myself and been like, a wedding. So yeah, he was so excited. So he's like, I want to start telling people. And I was just like, oh shit, okay. Like, we'll tell your mom. She'll be so excited. So we ended up telling his mom and dad at dinner. They were over the moon. They were so excited. We went and had wine at the neighbor's house. We told them. They were so excited for us. We ended up just like throughout the week, we called our friends. We FaceTimed a bunch of friends. So we like let everybody know. And when we were like FaceTiming friends and stuff, they were like, oh my God, let me see the ring. And we were like, well, technically we don't have a ring yet. But yeah, my mom never got an engagement ring. Neither did his parents. Granted, it was like in the late 70s, 80s, but still. Basically, we started planning the wedding right off the bat. We both knew we wanted to get married in Oaxaca. We got a wedding planner. We were just making mood boards and everything. And I was just like, hey, let's pedal back a little bit because like I need my ring. Okay. And anyway, we lived in San Francisco, but the ring designer that I was going to go to lived in LA. Now his family lived in Southern California. So it was about an hour and a half drive to go from Southern California to LA, where my ring designer was. And we would go visit often. We would go visit the family often. So every time we'd go down there, I'd be like, hey, we need to like make an appointment with a ring designer. We need to like, you didn't even have to make an appointment. You just like go see her. And it would close at 5 o'clock though. And it was like downtown LA. I mentioned before, he like loved his job. And every time we would go down, he's like, shit, I have to work. Because it'd be like Friday. And I'm like, yo, can we like leave at like 2:30 so we can like make it down to the ring designer? And it just never worked every time we went down there. A couple times it was because he was playing golf with his buddies. One time he even went to Palm Springs instead of going to the designer, and he kept brushing it off every time we went down. I started getting like so torn up about it. I would like start talking about it. I'd get so emotional. I was like, I don't know what's fucking going on. This is like crazy that he doesn't do it. His mom was pretty disappointed too. She was genuinely like, so what's going on? And then I'd like start breaking down, and she'd be like, honey, I'm so sorry. And I was like, can somebody go fucking talk to him? Because I'm sick of begging him at this point. So even like one of my friends chewed him out at a wedding, because it was like the 5th wedding that we've been to since I've gotten engaged, and like all these people got engaged after me. So I was just like, this is actually like bullshit. Anyway, his mom ended up giving me a ring from her great-grandmother. It was engraved 1888. I was born in 1988. So it was a beautiful gold band. It was like, it's 100 years young or older than me. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be wearing this right here. Again, he just brushed it off. Anyway, I was going to therapy. I was losing my shit, and I would bring this up to my therapist, and I was just like crying. And one time he like overheard me, and he walked into the room, and he was just like, hey, I'm so sorry. I've been pushing it off. We're going to go next week. And I was like, okay, cool. Now I feel awkward at this point. I'm just like, I've just been begging for it at this point, and it's been a year and a half. Like, that's insane. And we ended up, we stopped planning our wedding. We're like, literally, fuck it, this isn't even like happening right now. But since we like missed our wedding date, or we were coming up on our wedding date, it was going to be November 11th, and we were like 2 months away. We're like, clearly we're not going to do a wedding. We talked about doing courthouse stuff, but we were like, let's just go to Mexico. So a week before we go to Mexico, my design gets finalized, and the lady's like, you can pick it up and it'll be ready to go, like, before your trip. And I was just like, oh shit. I knew he didn't go and drive up to get it, so I was like, maybe his mom did it or something. I was like, woo, I'm gonna finally get my ring in Mexico. We were there for 2.5 weeks and not get it. That was in October. So then the holidays came around. I didn't get it. And then New Year's. And then our 8-year anniversary. So this man had it for 6 months. I had never had a chance to see it. And that's actually like our 8-year anniversary. I broke up with him like 2 weeks after that. So yeah, I never got to see the ring until I got back from Europe, and I was looking for apartments in Portugal because I was going to move there. And I go on Facebook Marketplace, and guess what the fuck pops up? My engagement ring. He was selling my fucking engagement ring on Facebook Marketplace, and that is the first time I had seen it without it being like a 3D like mock-up. So yeah, that was actually really humiliating, and I can't believe I did that, and I will never, ever have like a verbal engagement again, because I would be like, I need you to get down on one knee and tell me you want to spend the rest of your life with me. And like, I would just be like, I was getting fed up, and like, yeah, he didn't do anything. Proves he did not love me. This man he didn't even like me. He could give 2 fucks about me. Insane.